So a TikTok up here made a video a while ago discussing heterosexual relationships, and she used Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber's marriage as an example of a relationship that was toxic and heavily dependent on one of them and their drug use. This video goes kind of like semi-viral, and Hailey Bieber sees it. Hailey Bieber, who is infamously terrible at Instagram, terrible at social media in general, because she's consistently getting caught watching and liking stuff that she allegedly has no business, and then she claims that she was hacked. It's like, just make a fake page like every other celebrity. Like, why are you so slow? Anyways, after Hailey accidentally reposts this video, now millions of people have seen it. It turns into a huge deal. Hailey Bieber's pissed off, so then she has her lawyer send this TikToker a cease and desist. Well, I say this all the time. When it comes to celebrities, if you want something to die, the way to do it is to ignore it, right? Like, the minute you pay attention, it now becomes a bigger story. Because again, this was just some silly TikTok video. People make 1,000,001 TikTok videos, but now this specific video is getting pressed from like TMZ, and TMZ is reaching out to this girl, giving her publicity, asking her for interviews and things of that sort. Their refusal to just let her have an opinion is now giving her a bigger platform than she had before. Celebrity, if you want a story to die, the correct PR move is to, number one, ignore it, and number two is to flood the timeline with a different story. The more important conversation to have up here is like, Hailey, who do you think you are? I know people are going to come running to defense that she's allowed to defend herself, right? And that people shouldn't be allowed to talk shit about her marriage and talk shit about her, right? And like get upset that there's consequences to their actions. I know it's the argument that you're going to make. My response to that is that people wouldn't be talking about your marriage had you not exploited your marriage as a way to make yourself famous. I say this with these modern celebrities all the time. It's like, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. You can't exploit your personal life because it is profitable, and then when the negative side of it, which is that people are in your business, and turn around and be like, we deserve our privacy. This is insane. People are so insensitive. You could have been private. If you wanted privacy, you could have been private from the beginning, but you chose not to be private because it is profitable to exploit your personal life. Exploiting your marriage and your connection to your husband made you $1 billion company, and now we're supposed to feel bad about you because people have comments to make about your marriage. You could have married him quietly and never told us anything about it. You could have had a private relationship, but instead you call paparazzi every 2 days. Celebrities piss me off so badly because you're not allowed to exploit your personal life when it is profitable for you, when it is convenient, when it is going to make your career, when it is going to make you a buck, when it's going to keep your name in conversation and make sure that people don't forget who you are, when it's going to make you more famous, and then turn around when someone has something negative to say and be like, well, it's not fair. You're not allowed to talk about us. We deserve our privacy. That's not how it works. You volunteered up your personal life because people knowing about your personal life would make people care about you, would make people more interested in you, would make people want to buy products that you endorsed, right? Your popularity and people in your name being on people's mouths made you a buck, made you money, got you jobs. And now that somebody has something negative to say, it's like, well, you're not entitled to do that. You can't do that. Tantrums like this, because to me the season 6 is a tantrum, that's what she's doing, to me are gonna become more commonplace, specifically with TikTokers, because the average TikToker is really just a regular person, right? Like, very few, like a few TikTokers are big brands and like have a lot of money and stuff, but the average person is just a random person who picked up their phone and set it up and said, hey, I have an opinion on this thing in pop culture, and they're just talking about it, right? Like a small regular person. In this day and age where we know that journalism is dead, right, and publications can be bought and are often bought by either the celebrity directly or the celebrity's management team, their PR team, right, and every single image and article we read about them is highly edited to make sure that they look in a good light, right? They are very much controlling the narrative of the conversation that's happening around them. We are not living in the early 2000s where like publications and celebrity news in general was like this kind of wild west, right, where publications and people who wrote those articles could say whatever they wanted to and could imply whatever they wanted to. Like, that doesn't exist anymore. Articles are very highly curated and usually with someone's PR team directly involved to make sure that the image of them is being painted in a specific way that they find agreeable. Yes, hit pieces still exist, but they're very rare now compared to the way that they were in the early 2000s. They made the job of celebrity PR teams very easy, right? Because they can just control every single narrative. And then in comes TikTok, where any random person gets up their phone and put out an opinion piece and say whatever they wanted about whatever celebrity, and who knows, like, it could go viral. The fact that the average TikToker can't be bought or schmoozed the way that an editor of a magazine can pisses celebrities off. I don't like the idea that an average person could have power over them, that they can't just easily buy or control the average person. Season is an example of someone trying to do that. A great example of this is Sky Jackson sending that girl who reads the blind items a season is, and it cracks me up because number one, that girl doesn't like make up stories. Like, she doesn't even give opinion pieces. She just reads what the blinds are sending, right? She's like, this is what people are saying. Like, these are the rumors about you. And Sky Jackson gets so pissed off that she sent her season is, and that girl, instead of stopping to talk about her, she literally just gave her a nickname and will talk about her and then post an emoji over her face because there's nothing that Sky Jackson can do about it, which is hilarious. The concept of a big celebrity, a multimillionaire, getting a lawyer involved to like essentially harass a small person for having an opinion that they don't agree with, to me is an infringement of freedom of speech. Not only that, but it is bullying. Right, but like if you can't handle being spoken about negatively, you are in the wrong line of work. And I know people in the comments are gonna be like, it's not that big of a deal. She's, just don't talk about her. But again, it sets a bad precedent where it's like, if we can't critique and speak negatively about celebrities, then how will we be able to speak negatively and talk about politicians and people who have real power? If in a world where you can't talk shit about Hailey Bieber, do you think that you can talk shit about the president? Freedom of press and freedom of speech are the two things that keep us from literally living under fascism, right? The right that any citizen can say whatever they want at basically any given moment, and there would be no consequences to it. World where there are an elite group of people where you are not allowed to criticize without there being serious and dire consequences is not a free world.